Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Covenant Eyes podcast. We are so glad to be here today at the NRB conference, and we have got an amazing guest joining us, Rob. I am so excited. Carrie Murphy is here. She is a comedian. She is a Christian and just all-around amazing person. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here with you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Carrie, can you start out, just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into comedy and what you're doing now?
Absolutely, yes. Well, my name's Carrie Murphy. I'm a Christian comic, and I would say all my life I wanted to do comedy, but I felt like if I'm a Christian, comedy is not something I can do. I kind of put God and humor in two different boxes, and grew up in a very fundamentalist environment, and I think sometimes Christians, all of us, can take our faith really seriously. We can be white-knuckled about our relationship with Jesus. So I just had them in two different boxes, comedy and faith. And then God started prompting me, I made you into this unique individual who's weird and quirky, but I made you that way. And you can steward your gifts and your personality for my service. And so finally, I just decided to take the plunge. And I said, okay, Lord, if you're giving me permission, let's just be weird for God.
I love it.
Life is too short to be serious. I believe that laughter is holy. Laughter is something God created for us. And so really it's harnessing the power of laughter and comedy as a service, as a respite to this hard thing called life, the living experience. So I started doing comedy. I left a full-time job at a church and put on a one-woman, one-hour comedy show. And someone from K-Love was there and gave me my first special. So God really just opened doors. And I have been trying to walk through the doors ever since then and just seeing where he leads me.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, humor can be so healing, I mean, when we laugh, sometimes it is just so therapeutic to the soul.
Medicinal.
Yes, it really is.
Yes.
So talk to us a little bit about how you've used comedy in that way, especially with your traveling and presenting at churches and all your shows.
Yes. So I'll tell you a unique story of comedy being used as a respite. I get contacted by many different entities, many different people. I never expected I would get contacted by a lady who had lost her husband, and she was in a really dark time, but she reached out because her husband, who had just passed, hated to be sad, loved comedy, and so she actually hired me to do his funeral.
Oh my goodness. No.
And so I interviewed her for several hours about her husband and then did a custom set for him at his funeral. And so I never expected to take my comedy into a setting like that. But I think that gives a clear picture of how we can use it as a service for good. So that was definitely unique. And I was grateful for the experience, and it truly taught me, man, this really can be given back to the Lord. And who knows how he'll use it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story. I've never heard of a comedian at a funeral doing
I
a funeral.
have never either.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's so cool.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well, along those same lines, have you had trouble at times balancing the faith and the comedy, especially in churches? Have you gotten any pushback,
it's
that
tricky.
kind of thing?
Yeah, even from, everyone has different opinions, different thresholds, all that stuff. So I try really, really carefully to listen to the Holy Spirit. And I have also what I call a little integrity team. So like sometimes if I'm like, is this
it
okay?
too much?
Yeah. I run it by some other people. So I just trust that there's grace, there's grace for it.
Yeah.
And someone asked me, do you feel like you have to stay in a box with Christian comedy? And I think it's more, there's no box, right? We're kind of, Christian comics are kind of building something new.
Yeah.
And there's not many of us at this point. So it's exciting to kind of be forging that new path and showing people that comedy can be redemptive. It can be God honoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Comedy to me is just, I don't know how we can get through the day without laughing. I mean, it just brings so much joy and happiness. And I think, humans in general are just funny creatures. I mean,
We're funny. We're all
we need
weird.
to laugh at ourselves.
We hide that pretty well, right?
Yes.
Our flaws and whatever. But I think there's
Yeah.
something healing, and there's something, comedy releases shame.
Yes.
It normalizes us.
Yes.
It humanizes us.
It does.
And it takes vulnerability. And so leaning into that kind of feels scary. But the minute that we can laugh or crack a joke or whatever, it's like the whole room just takes a collective deep breath. Like, oh, okay, it's okay. I'm okay. But certainly using it to get us through some hard times is really important too. Yeah.
How do you come up with your material? Do you have like a routine? Does it just come to you naturally? Are you walking through the mall and you're like, that's funny, I got to write this
Yeah,
down?
literally.
Yeah.
I always have my ears open and eyes open.
Yeah.
That never turns off. And so just I have a running notes list on my phone. But another way is sometimes I'll be doing something random and it's like the Holy Spirit downloads it to me. Like some of my best jokes have been from the Lord, like very directly like that, where I'm not trying to think of it. And so my writing truly is a collaborative process with the Lord, which sounds crazy, but it's true. It's true, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Yes,
Yeah, no.
Jesus is the funniest guy ever. Yeah, he
Glad to
is.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
humor in this world, especially in the church.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how much liberty do you have to make fun of the church and us
You know what?
Christian people?
It goes better than you would think.
Yeah.
I think we're all waiting to laugh at ourselves. And we all kind of hold these maybe points of tension or points of shame. And then I give people permission to get it out, And that's fun. I kind of like
Pushing it a little.
challenging just a little bit in that way. And yeah, like I said, going back to the grace, grace. But I think it's fun to challenge the church in that way. And I think it's really healthy to sometimes laugh at ourselves.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
'Cause
It
there's
keeps
a
us
lot to
humble,
laugh at.
Yes.
It keeps us humble.
It really does.
Absolutely.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't take ourselves too seriously.
No,
but
we can't.
Yeah.
I don't at least.
No, I don't either. No. Especially I'm a mom, so that's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
We
could
make
write
all-
my material for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
with
goodness,
all of that.
that's crazy. So talk to us a little bit about how our listeners can learn more about your ministry, where you're going to be
Yeah.
performing. Like, where do they go?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they can follow me on Instagram at Carrie Murphy, and they can go to my website, thecarriemurphy.com. And if they want to see my stuff, they can go to K-Love On Demand. I have a
Okay.
9-episode comedy series there.
excellent.
Awesome. Do you have any tour dates coming up? Are you doing any special
yes,
events?
all my calendar stuff
Everything's
is on my
there?
website.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
Yeah.
Great.
So this keep you
Yeah.
pretty busy. How often do you do shows?
Yeah, I'm kept pretty busy. Yeah, and if I'm not doing the shows, I'm writing. I write a lot, and a lot of the times I'll do custom stuff. So if a church hires me, I want to read all about their website, read all about their pastor, and do some personalized stuff.
That's great.
So yeah, whatever the Lord brings my way, I'm open-handed to.
That's
Well, Carrie, it has been a joy getting to know you today. I'm glad that
Likewise.
our listeners, are now going to be
Yes.
tapped in. And I just would encourage people to check out your website, go to one of your shows.
Come find me, come meet me.
Yes.
Let's be friends.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you
Yes.
for what you do. Thank you for bringing joy and
Yes.
laughter into the world. We need more of it.
absolutely.
So
We need
love it.
more
You guys.
love
We
and
do.
joy and
Let's
laughter
laugh
in the
more.
church. Yeah,
Yeah.
We need
absolutely.
to. Oh, well,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Carrie, for
Well, thank
joining
you.
us today.
Absolutely.
Thank you, listeners, for tuning in to this episode of the Covenant Eyes podcast. Take care. Bye-bye.